welcome. So here we have my iterated deuterium mine. The added bonus is that these are held together by joints that can be rearranged and assembled, and I can probably stack these together in around a central structure of some sort. That's a problem for another day. For right now, I want to get it in the water and see if I'm starved for energy, whether I'm producing all the things I want to produce, that kind of stuff. So in order to get it in the water, as opposed to previous adventures, I'm just translating it by turning off gravity and using a heck of a lot of RCS thrust and physics warping. So the two numbers to watch here are vertical speed, which I am adjusting by using the H RCS control. H and N are paired up as forward and backward. And then the JKLI are just like your WASD. So right now, I want to get my vertical speed to be roughly level, and now I want to start moving us sideways. So I'm going to try to get a horizontal speed, maybe about 5 meters per second. And once I get there, we'll do some acceleration to get us to the water. A little side note, if you're not seeing my face, it's because, well, I'm not presentable right now, but I do have one of the most important scenes from my childhood to Kerbal. I do this all the time, where I'm trying to dock or I'm trying to shoot prograde or retrograde, and I hit the wrong button. And I just remember that scene where Will Smith in Independence Day, he pushes forward on the controls, and he finds that the ship goes backwards. And he goes, "Oops!" And then Jeff Goldblum says, "Oops? What do you mean saying oops there?" And then he switches the orientation of the diagram upside down, which is exactly what I do in my head every time that happens. So we've got a little too much up and not enough side. Let's start accelerating now. But she flies! So this is a complete abuse of the radial symmetry function. I created one of these spars, and then I just mounted it, and then radial 6 on it. Oh, I'm dropping a little. Going down. Alright. Still not quite as fast horizontally as I'd like, but we're getting there. But anyway, as you can see, this has 36 different labs, all capable of centrifuging deuterium, which is what I want. I want to make sure that I can power all of them with this one reactor. And I want to see what kind of numbers I can produce in terms of production of deuterium, and also breeder, tritium, and helium-3, which also come out of this reactor. That's why I have these spherical tanks of various types. There's 6 deuterium tanks, which is the primary goal here, to make deuterium. And then there's also 3 tanks for tritium and 3 tanks for helium-3. So once we get this in the water, got a little too much up, so let's bring it down. Once we get in the water, it's going to be a fairly tedious task of turning everything on. Whoever made this mod didn't enable an action group for the start centrifuging. I'm going to recommend it as a feature, but for now, there's no other way than just click it and then activate the centrifuge. So Also, just a little note on a future redesign, I'm probably going to change the radiator stack here. I want to have a single docking port on the top, on top of a, say, just a structural disc that'll act as kind of a flame shield for any ship that wants to land and dock and collect the deuterium without scorching the structure. Alright, so let's start peeling back our horizontal speed. We've got a little too much ups, but gravity will help with that. You can see our target moving backwards there. We're crawling along it. Up, too far. Still got to be in the water. Let's see, yeah, we got significant ups there at 429 meters. That should be deep enough, though. Not even over water yet. I don't want to let my vertical speed get too negative, because then I won't be able to stop in time. But I do want to shed some of this height. And as I'm shedding the height, it looks like that pushes me further out because I still have my horizontal speed. So let me bring in my horizontal speed so I land vertically, or as close to vertically as possible. Alright. Now, one of the things that I can try to do to make sure that this landing goes well is I can try to get that retrograde symbol on the trackball to be exactly underneath the cursor. And I can control that with the RCS. So you can see there I'm pushing it to the center, and then I'm going to use either the up or down axis to get it underneath. So now I know that I'm traveling directly under, like my direction of travel exactly matches the alignment of the ship, which is helpful. And if I did my job right, yeah, we have a horizontal speed measured in millimeters per second. That's great. Now we just got to get it down in the water. Alright, here we go. So yeah, physics warping is great, because this has been 11 minutes of in-game time. Alright, we're about to splash down. I'm going to turn off physics because physics acceleration, things tend to not go well. Come on. Now again, this is at 1/100th gravity, and I do need to design a way to descend safely. But again, that's a problem for another day. But I will turn the gravity up once I've got this thing in the water. Okay, let it come to rest. Alright, we turn off high gravity. And it's somehow more buoyant. I don't have a good answer for why that works. But it held together. It didn't explode. Hooray. Still crawling along at 6 frames per second. Alright, so now let's turn things on. I think the generator is already on. but I need to turn on the reactor control window. Oh, this thing's already on? Let's activate. Okay, and then activate centrifuge. Okay, we see that it's got power. It's producing almost 1 kilogram per hour. And there will be some clipping here. Let me put on my resources so we can kind of see what's going on. Yeah, I should turn off RCS. Just let us float here. Okay, so now we're not wasting any fuel. We've got liquid hydrogen. Where's the liquid hydrogen? Why do I have a liquid hydrogen tank? I gotta fix that. Okay, note to self. I mainly picked it for the visuals, but alright, so the things to keep an eye on here are deuterium count and megajoules and waste as I start cranking these things up. And one of the things I can do to reduce part counts is I can use Kerbal attachment system. So an engineer, when this is actually in place, I can pop all of those top docking ports off to make it have a lot less parts. If I can cut 36 parts off, then that'll help with the resource management. It's also really satisfying to do. Activate centrifuge. I like that there's a visual, like the arms extend out when this starts. It helps know which ones I've gotten, which ones I haven't. I could have chosen a slightly more elegant design that would not clip, but I'm not actually sure I could. Oh well. Who cares if these little extensions clip into each other? I do try to stick to the headcanon of pressurized compartments. That if you're in a pressurized compartment, it has to have a pressurized adapter like you see here. And when I design my stations, I design it so that like there's no like breaks between pressurized compartments. Yeah, I'll shut up because it's slowing me down. I think that's it. Activate centrifuge. Is that everything? Let's see. Does everybody have a little dish out? You don't. No, you do. Okay. Yeah. Looks like everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. Okay, so looks like I have 0 megajoules. What's up with that? What can we say here? I should do that, and I should do Yeah, somebody's power starved. We're not getting enough power. Let's see if I can change the fusion mode to get more power. Deuterium, tritium. Do I need to turn off? No. Deactivate. And then activate it? What's the problem here? Okay, so I may just be straining the resources here. There's an easy way to figure this out. Math. But what kind of numbers are we producing as is? Well, let me change this back. Next fusion mode, cold deuterium. So where are they getting those megajoules from? Huh. Are radiators on? Did that do anything? Yeah, it's current output 0 kilowatts. That's frustrating. Why is that happening? We have enough fuel. Our kilowatt hour is going down. That makes sense because we're using them, but we're not generating any. I have deuterium. I don't have any tritium, but that's not the mode we're in. We have enough fuel. Test glow. Let's make it glow. Okay, let's try turning it off. Activate. Current max fusion maintenance. How am I getting no power output? Is it because the thermal generator? Nominal. Maximum electric power. Why is this reactor starved? Alright, I'm gonna stop here and keep tinkering, but yeah, this is my deuterium mine. I hope you enjoyed.